This scene from The Dark Knight breaks a rule. But what is that rule, and how can we learn to break it ourselves? When a character interacts with an object or a person in a scene, an imaginary line is formed between them. By choosing one side of the line to shoot from, you keep the viewer oriented with all the spatial relationships in the scene. This is called the 180-degree rule. Basically, keep your characters on one side of the screen throughout the scene, unless the camera is moved or the characters change positions. Okay, but is it really that important? You tell me.
Hey, wanna hear a joke?
No.
Where do aliens go to get drunk? The space bar!
That's it. Excessive breaking of this rule can lead to confusion, disorientation, and potential nausea. So then, why do they break it here? For that, we should look at Joker's dialogue.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
Where's Stan?
To them, you're just a freak. Like me.
This conversation is between Joker and Batman, right? Or is it between Batman and himself? Joker directly addresses their similarities by comparing their inclination for coldness and how society views them both as freaks, an interrelationship that Batman acknowledges but outwardly rejects. This tension between what he wants to be versus what he is erupts in a rageful display of Batman's strength. But strength is useless in this battle to define who he is and what he needs to represent. Instead, he must look inwards to a place where he and Joker meld into one, to question what makes them different. Breaking the 180-degree rule makes Batman and Joker's positions interchangeable to illustrate how alike they've become. Two mask-wearing freaks who doubt society's ability to fix itself and have grown more vicious in the process. So, how can we use this in our own work? You can break this rule in a multitude of ways for contrasting effects. You might want the audience to feel that something is off, or a character is having an identity crisis, like they do in The Dark Knight or The Shining. You could also place your audience into the mind of a character in a disorienting situation, like they do in Whiplash. You should watch other movies to see how filmmakers break this rule for their own specified intentions. Not the whole thing. You should only break this rule sparingly, otherwise you risk overpowering the film with unintentional confusion, leaving the viewer bewildered. Instead, just use a pinch here and there to add a purposeful zest to your scenes. After all, breaking the 180-degree rule only works if you've established a reality where you follow it.
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules.
Let's go back to some advice I got from my screenwriting teacher. Rules are meant to be broken, but only once you have proven that you've mastered the rule. Drop a comment if you have any observations, questions, or gripes. The best way to learn is from each other, and I could learn a thing or two from all of you.
There you are. Subscribe for more content.
I'm not actually Joker.
That sounds exactly like something Joker would say.